All right, good evening. This is part 4 of A Call to Arms. The last time we worked on creating a summary of the battles, and I want to go back to the main idea. So the main idea that I had before wasn't really complete, so I switched it to the results of the early battles were fought at Lexington and Concord, Fort Ticonderoga, and Bunker Hill. So those were the I think the 3 battles is actually 4 battles that we're going to be summarizing. And so we summarized Lexington and Concord and Fort Ticonderoga, and now we just got to summarize Bunker Hill. So we talked about, Ethan Allen and the Green Mountain Boys at Fort Ticonderoga, and so now we're going to go to Bunker Hill. So it says militias grew as more people heard of the fighting. Before long, the militia around Boston had 20,000 soldiers. The city was controlled by the British, but the militia camped nearby. And on June 16, 1775, Colonel William Prescott set up militia posts on Bunker Hill and on Breed's Hill. Okay, so what happened there was that the British had charged up Breed's Hill. The Americans, they were running out of ammunition, so Prescott told the soldiers not to fire until they saw the whites of their eyes. So what do you think that meant? Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes. When the militia fired, the British retreated. When you retreat, you run away. Finally, the Americans ran out of gunpowder and then they pulled back. So the British won the Battle of Bunker Hill. So up here, we're going to go to, we're going to say that at the Battle of Bunker Hill, the colonists, the militia or the colonists or the American colonists, it's all the same. So we're going to say the American militia were running out of ammunition. At first, they were able to hold back the British as they ran up Breed's Hill, which was where the battle took place. But finally, when the American militia ran out of ammunition, the British defeated them. Right? And so my concluding sentence would be something like in conclusion, how many battles did the Americans win and how many battles did the Americans lose? So it looks like they lost 2 battles. They lost the battle at, I think did they lose at Lexington? So the colonists lost the battle at Lexington, and then they won the battle at Concord, and then they also won the battle at Fort Ticonderoga, and then they lost the battle at Bunker Hill. So in conclusion, the Americans won 2 battles and they lost 2 battles. They won the Battle of Bunker Hill, not Bunker Hill, Lexington, and Fort Ticonderoga. They lost the Battle of Bunker Hill, or what did I mean? Fort Ticonderoga, Lexington. They lost what? All right, so I'm wrong. I got it all mixed up here. So they lost, or shall I say, they won the battles at Concord and Fort Ticonderoga, and they lost the battles at Lexington and Bunker Hill. Okay, so you got all that done. So this is a complete summary of the battles that they fought. So it says, why was the American Revolution also considered a civil war? Now, a civil war, I'm going to go and type right here what a civil war is. So a civil war is actually a war that is fought between the citizens of the same country. Now, at this moment, all of the Americans were British citizens. So they were fighting the British. So they were kind of fighting their fellow countrymen in that way. But also they were fighting against each other in a way that, they separated into the loyalists and the patriots. So the loyalists joined the British, and they were fighting on land, who the loyalists actually lived here in this country, as well as the patriots lived here in this country, and they were fighting each other. So that's why it was a civil war. So we're going to start out by saying the American Revolution was considered a civil war because, okay, so look, the American Revolution was considered a civil war because, so what's the answers? Because they were all, so really what you want to do is use the definition of a civil war. They were all citizens of the same country who were fighting each other. So we're going to go and find a citation. I'm going to go all the way down here, and I'm going to use this one as a citation. And I'm going to paste it. I'm going to get rid of the highlight there. So, and then I'm going to make sure that I put my quotation marks there. So it was also a civil war between American patriots and the American loyalists. So I'm going to just go ahead and write, I know this because the text says, comma, and then I'm going to say, this means that, and you're just going to have to expand on it, you know, who was fighting in the war. So this means that the loyalists, or actually all of the people who were fighting in the war were British citizens, as well as American citizens. The colonists separated into the loyalists and the patriots, which meant that they were fellow countrymen who fought against each other. And then you're just going to go ahead and type your whole paragraph down here. And that is all. This is part 4, and part 5 we will talk about the differences between, actually you're going to do this on your own, the loyalists and the patriots. So you need to figure out what the differences are between the loyalists and patriots, and when you do that, you will proceed to writing your 5-paragraph argumentative essay on which would you rather be, a loyalist or a patriot. You can find the videos for how to write a 5-paragraph essay on Google Classroom. And that's all for now.